Ciao e bentornati, welcome back to Pillole D'Italiano. In today's episode, episode number 64, we're going to talk about la dizione, the proper pronunciation. So I am not usually a stickler for pronunciations. I usually say, hey, there are certain consonants or certain groups of letters that maybe you cannot pronounce like a native yet, but you will be understood. Just, do the best that you can. When it comes to vowels, that it's a bit more essential to really clearly pronounce that final a, o, e, e. Make sure that you're pronouncing that final letter, especially the final ones, because it's going to give me, as a listener, all sorts of informations. Are you talking about something masculine, feminine, singular, plural? When it comes to verbs, who is the subject? This is all to say that I personally worry more about vowels than consonants. So today I want to focus on two vowels, the letter E and the letter O, and see how those two are pronounced in Italian. Why am I only focusing on these two vowels and not all of them? Because there are 5 vowels in Italian, A, E, I, O, U. Those are the 5 letters, but in terms of sounds, we have 7. Which means that these 2 letters that I chose today, the E and the O, actually are pronounced in 2 different ways, respectively, depending on the word and on the situation. So the letter E could be open or closed. So it could be pronounced E or E. You hear the difference? E, E. And the letter O, same thing. It could be open or closed. O, O. Once more, O, O. Now, why is this difference so crucial? Not always. I have to preface this by saying that in Italy there are many languages that are spoken. There is the official Italian language. I talked about the origin of this language in my previous episode. If by any chance you missed it, I think it's very informative and fun too. So go check it out and you will find the link up here. And then there are all the dialects. And even people speaking the official Italian language, according to the regions where they live, they will bring a certain accent, a certain flair to the language in the way that they pronounce words. And that accent comes directly from the dialect that is spoken in that region. I don't think that these are big differences. I want to give you an example right away. In the area where I'm from, Milano, Lombardia in general, that region, but specifically the city of Milan where I come from, we say stella for star, stella, S-T-E-L-L-A. That E is pronounced like an open E, stella. But in proper Italian, so we're talking about dizione here, the proper way of pronouncing words, it should be stella, stella, with a closed E. This is not a big deal. If you're talking about stars and say le stelle or le stelle, you will be understood. So I'm not going to, be a stickler here. The reason why you might want to learn the proper dizione is if you want to apply for a job as an actor, a voiceover actor, or in theater, you have a dream of becoming an Italian movie star. Those are all good reasons. Or maybe you want to speak at the radio on a national level. But otherwise, it's not a big deal. You will be understood. There are certain words, though, where pronouncing that E or E differently will change the meaning. Same thing with O and O. And this is what I want to focus on today. So let's get started. Well, when I pronounce single letter E and I say E, what comes to mind? E. It is. Or he is, or she is. That's the third person singular of the verb essere, to be. So if I say è bello, you see how that, you hear actually how that è is open? È bello means it's beautiful. If I say è importante, it is important. I'm still opening up. If I say what is that? closed and a little longer sound. That means and. If I'm talking about multiple people, I can place their names and then a little and in between. Maria e mia sorella, and then you continue the sentence. So Mary and my sister, Maria e mia sorella. But if you get confused and you say Maria è mia sorella, you see how the meaning of the sentence changes? You're saying that Mary is your sister. That's probably not what you meant to say. This will lead to confusion and miscommunication. This is the only instance where I will really pay attention to the proper pronunciation. So Maria e mia sorella, Mary and my sister. Maria è mia sorella, Mary is my sister. What happens with that letter O? If I say o, such as in ho due gatti. O means I have, with that open O, the open O. Ho due gatti, I have two cats. O, the closed O, which is a bit more similar to how you would pronounce the letter O in English. So O, that means or. Do you want this or that? Vuoi questo o quello? So once more, the I have is o, and or will be o. Okay, let's go down now a rapid fire of other short words that will change the meaning according to the pronunciation. It's not a big deal when you see them written because they're spelled differently, but when you are part of a conversation, that's when you have to pay attention both to what you hear and how you pronounce. So c'è and c'è. C'è, close e, and c'è, open. When you say c'è, the open one means there is. C'è mia sorella, there is my sister. C'è. But if you say c'è, that just means there. It's the chi that opens up when you have another pronoun following. For example, I could say ce ne vuole per imparare l'italiano. Ce ne vuole per imparare l'italiano. Ce ne vuole means literally there of it takes. We're talking about effort or time, so it takes time, it takes effort per imparare l'italiano, to learn Italian. Ce ne vuole, non c'è, ma c'è. Do you hear the difference? Ce ne vuole. What about the two words loro and loro? Loro, opened, loro and loro. The second one you probably recognize, loro. It's one word, L-O-R-O. Loro means they. Loro sono miei amici. They are my friends. Loro sono miei amici. If I say loro, those are two words, L apostrophe O-R-O. It means the gold. Loro. L'oro è bello. The gold is beautiful. In Italian we say the gold, but in English you just say gold, the material. How about ne and ne? Ne, ne. So ne is that same pronoun that we found in the previous sentence. Ce ne vuole, ne, N-E, one word, ce ne vuole. And if you want to learn more about ne, I have a whole episode about it and I'll link it here. So we're not getting into details right now there, but just know that ne, so the closed and a little longer e sound after the n, ne is the pronoun of it, about it, etc. But if you say ne, that's the contraction of ne and e. So it's like saying of it, it is, he is, or she is. In a sentence, it might be used in the following way. Lei n'è fiera. Lei n'è fiera. She is proud of it. The literal translation is lei, she, ne of it is fiera, proud. Lei n'è fiera. How about lo and lo? Lo, lo. Lo by itself, it's with the closed O, it's one word and it means it or him. Well, it could also be an article. And once more, if you want to dive into lo and how to use it and the many meanings, you will find an episode that I already produced about it, and the link is up here now. So lo, as in it, for example. When Italians say lo voglio, literally it I want, meaning I want it. It's how we say I do when people get married, right? They will say lo voglio. But if you have lo, that's a contraction of lo or la and o, the verb I have that we've seen before. So lo, you could find it in a sentence such as l'ho visto, I've seen it, l'ho visto. Non l'ho visto, but l'ho visto. And let's also analyze the difference between c'era and c'era. C'era, c'era. Do you hear the difference? Is it too subtle? One more time. C'era, closed. C'era, c'era, opened. So c'era, with the open e, is like in c'era una volta. C'era una volta. Literally, there was one time, meaning once upon a time. If you have kids and you want to read them Italian books, they usually all start that way. C'era una volta, tanto tempo fa, etc. If you hear c'era, that is one word and it's wax, like beeswax. So two different things, right? Two honorable mentions to conclude this episode are pesca versus pesca. Once more, pesca, pesca. Pesca, la pesca, is the fishing, the act of fishing. Pesca is the peach, the fruit. So about pesca and pesca, you should be careful, because if you say mi piace la pesca versus mi piace la pesca, you're saying two different things. If you get those two confused, the other person might be confused as well. Do you like fishing or do you like the peach? Do you like that fruit? Mi piace la pesca is I like fishing. Mi piace la pesca, pesca. So open it up a bit more. It's like you have to open your mouth to eat that peach. Does that make sense? And the second and last honorable mention is botte versus botte. Botte, a closed O, and botte, open. So botte, the one with the closed O, means barrel. Una botte di vino. And botte, on the other hand, means beatings, hits, which, of course, I'm not condoning. Hopefully you will not need to use this word. It's just good for you to know that there is a difference. So most likely you will be hearing and using the word botte with the closed O, botte, which is the barrel. All right, that concludes today's episode. I hope that this was clear. Let me know if you could hear the difference, because I know that sometimes it might take time to actually develop an ear, develop that ability to distinguish between sounds when we're approaching a new language. I know that it took me forever to distinguish between solid and salad. So I was very confused about the fact that we needed to bring something solid to a dinner. This is just part of the game. So if you need to listen to this episode and listen to the different ways that I pronounce these words over and over again, go ahead, feel free. It doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with you. It's just that you have to develop that sensitivity a bit. Feel free to ask me questions, request other episodes, leave a comment in the comment section below. I truly hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. I will see you in a week. Ciao, a presto!